all set. It's 12 o'clock. Let's see, what do we need? You'll see 2 pillows behind me just because I'm starting with a seated posture, and Joel benefits from having some boost beneath his bum. So if you want to grab a block or some pillows, do so. He's also got a towel because we end up sweating a little bit in this core class, and a glass of water. So I'll get started in just about a minute. I think that's everything. And cross our fingers, this whole hour is good to go. So thanks for joining us. Let's get to the mat, and I'll go behind screen so that you can just hear me. Okay. All right, starting with Sukhasana, please. Just find an easy, comfortable seat. You could sit on your knees. Joel finds this to be his most comfortable position. You could sit cross-legged like I normally would in class, whichever feels best for your hips. That means if you need to adjust your hips or roll through your shoulders at all, now's the time so it feels easy, right? When you're ready, you can soften your gaze and look at one spot for a sense of focus, or you could simply close your eyes, drop into your breath flow. So usually that helps by taking a deep breath in here through your nose, and a long breath out through your nose or through your mouth. And do this a few more times to help yourself settle energetically and gathering your awareness to be here with each other from our homes, breathing and being in the beginning of practice. Now, there's nothing you have to change about yourself unless, of course, you're noticing any other discomforts that you need to micro-adjust. That's fine. Just a little visualization to bring more awareness to the spine. Let's please start at the base. So just bringing all of your attention down into your seat, where your hips meet the mat, where your props. And on your next inhalation, trace your awareness, that's your attention, upwards through your spine, all the curves to your back, to the back of your head, to the very crown, the top of your head. And as you exhale, bring that awareness, trace it all the way back down your spinal column. Noticing again the subtle curves of your spine going down through each vertebrae. And then we'll do this a few more times with your natural breath. I find it helpful to breathe for at least 4 or 5 seconds. That might even be your maximum. If it feels good and easy to breathe even longer, maybe you'll stretch it out to a 6, 7, or 8 second breath to give you enough time to trace your awareness slowly and specifically up and down your spine. So noticing the central column part of the core of your body. Let's take just one more deep breath right where you are. Beautiful. You can keep your eyes closed or open them as you reach your arms wide and up over your head. Bend at your elbows so you're framing your face, and bring opposite hand to opposite elbow. Okay, let's take a little side bend. Lean up and over to your right side. Reach the opposite elbow up to the sky. Make sure it's not a forward fold, so your chest, your face is still shining forward. And on your next inhale, stack your posture, sit tall, take it up and over in the opposite direction. So stretching the side body, opening the obliques. Stay here for another breath. Good. As you come up with your inhale, you can stretch the arms straight over your head. We'll do that again, but a deeper side bend. Over to your right side. Bring that bottom right hand down to the mat. You can lean into it a little bit more. Just drop the shoulder out. You could even walk your hand as far right as you want to give yourself as much room or space as you need to deepen that stretch. Try to keep your left buttock, your left sit bone grounded on the mat or on your prop. And on the inhalation, stack your posture. That arm will follow. Take it up and over in the opposite direction, a deep side bend. And instead of thinking about shrinking or sinking into the opposite underside of the waist, think more like you're lifting, opening, and stretching without collapsing. Chest is still shining forward. Good. Let's inhale, reach both arms up, stack the spine, and then just touch your palms overhead. And with the exhale, relax your shoulders as you slide the hands down in front of your chest. Take a simple breath in. And an easy breath out. If your eyes are closed, open them. You'll come off of your seat. Stretch your right leg straight. Janu Shasana, before we get right into our pelvic tilts or Pilates work for this core practice, I want to wake up the hamstrings a little bit, open up the hips with some dynamic stretching. So your left foot will come to your right inner thigh. Your right leg will be straight with the 5 toes pointing up. Bring each hand on either side of that leg onto your fingertips. Good. And then try to sit up as tall as you can. Remember, you can use your pillows beneath your hips too if you need. On the exhalations and the elbows, hinge at the hips, forward fold. It can be a little or a lot. We're coming out of this again right away though. So inhale, lift that chest. Find some extension, reach up to the crown of the head, and exhale, hinge forward through your pelvis as best as you can, lengthening the back of that leg. One more time. Inhale as you stack your spine, reach up to the crown. Good. Exhale, think chest to thigh, bowing the head, and we'll hold it for 3 breaths. You're welcome to walk your hands further forward as far as they can go comfortably, or grab a hold of your right foot if it's available. Keep your head bowed, chin towards the throat, opening up the space behind you through your lower back, inner thighs, back of the legs. Good. Please use your hands to assist as you stack your spine and rolling it back up. So everything we do, we're doing with awareness. It's mindful. Even as you come out of the shape, that'll help you when we go into more challenging moves. Switch your legs. Extend the left leg straight, bend the right knee. Bring that foot to the inner thigh. Charge your left leg. If you need a little bend in the knee, that's totally fine. Bring one hand on either side of that leg for support. I like to come onto my fingertips, sitting as tall as I can. Open through the collarbones. Take a breath in, lift the chest. Exhale, hinging at the hips, bend the elbows as best you can as you chest towards the thigh. We're doing that twice more with breath. So inhale as you rise and stack the spine into extension, and exhale, hinging forward, bowing the head at the bottom of the breath. We do that one more time. Use your inhale to sit tall, lift the sternum, and use the exhale to fold forward into it. You can stay right here with it, walking the hands further forward to a comfortable position. Going to a place where you can definitely feel a stretch without having to hold your breath. So it's not too strenuous from the start if you're super tight. Take 2 more breaths here. Easy in and easy out. And then with awareness, you can use your hands to support you. Start to stack your posture again so that your head lifts last. So you're sitting nice and tall. Good. Now we're going to come into a seated position at the top of the mat, where your feet are flat on the ground. You might have to scoot your hips forward, just like Joel. Knees are pointing up. You can lift and spread your toes. Make sure the knees are pointing up to the sky, and then wrap your hands behind your thigh bone. You can use your arms, your biceps, the muscles to your back to help you sit as tall as you can without rounding forward. So you're imagining this perfect posture through your spine, from your hips to the crown of the head. It all starts with an inhalation right here. On the exhalation, engage your pelvic floor, tuck your tailbone, and roll back just behind the sit bones. It's a small movement through a posterior tilt. That's it. Inhale, find that neutral pelvis again, the center of your sit bones reaching up to the crown. Exhale, little abdominal activation at the base to draw this belly in. Inhale, stack the posture, lift the chest, shoulders back. Exhale, just like a J curve through the spine, you're flexing your lumbar back. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale. You could even close your eyes as you do this because it's a small movement. Exhale, you want to feel that articulation through your lower back as you tuck your tailbone. Then inhale, let's sit tall and we'll add on to it. Reach the arms forward in front of you, parallel to the ground. Relax the shoulders out of the ears. You still want to push your feet firmly into the ground so they don't float up off the mat. Take an inhale to prepare. Same movement. Exhale, roll back. This time you can go a little bit further back. You don't have to go super deep. It doesn't have to be strenuous, just so you feel your abs fire. Inhale, we'll come right back up to where we were. This time we don't have the assistance of the hands. Exhale, scoop your tailbone, draw the lower belly in, pelvic floor, navel to the spine. And inhale, find the center of the sit bone, stack the posture. Last time, exhale, roll back about halfway. Remember, that's all up to you. It's somewhere behind your sit bones where you can feel the abdominals engage, where you're not shaking already because you're going to add on to this. Take a breath in. On the next exhale, lift the right leg up off the floor. Inhale, lower it back down. Exhale, lift the left leg up off the floor. Good. Inhale, lower. So every time you're lifting a leg, you're bringing the whole knee in towards the chest. You're not just lifting the foot. That whole thigh bone, the femur, is moving closer towards you. You got it. Let's do it twice more on each side. Work with your breath. Every exhale is when you lift. Last set. Good. Next time your left leg lifts, Keep it up. Bring one hand behind it. Lift the other leg. Bring your right hand behind it. Let's try to find our balance right here on our sit bones. It might be a little wiggle wobbly at first. Try to lift your chest, draw your shoulders back. And for those of you that find this to be your end range of your challenge, you can stay right here. For those that want to add on, you can keep the legs like this while reaching the arms forward. Take a breath and prepare. Exhale, stretch the arms up to the sky. Inhale, lower the arms parallel to the floor. Exhale, float them up to the sky. We've got 2 more. Inhale, lower the hands about halfway. Exhale, arms go up, keep the rib cage knit in. 1 more time. Inhale as they lower. Exhale as they float up. Good, you can lower everything down and roll all the way down onto your back. Roll down through your spine in a controlled way that you can feel the center line of your back. We're going to go right into pelvic curls to open up those hip flexors after all those pelvic tucks. So you'll see Joel has already walked his heels in closer to his hips. Or maybe you're not watching the screen, you're just listening. Make sure your kneecaps are pointing straight up, arms straight to your sides. Take a breath in, prepare. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone like we have been, but now start to roll your hips and your low spine up off the mat into your first bridge. We're holding the bridge for about 3 breaths on each time here. All right, emphasize the length to the front of the pelvis without flaring the rib cage so it doesn't feel like a big back bend. Let's take 1 more inhale, keep those big toes pressing down, then roll it down through the spine on the exhalation. Smear the spine long onto the mat. Just 1 breath at the bottom as you rest. Inhale through neutral position. Reset that posterior tilt as you exhale. Push into the legs. Firm your hamstrings and your glutes as you lift the hips up. 3 breaths again, right here. So in the face. You still want to feel like your lower belly is drawing up and in. So pubic bone towards the navel. Ribs funnel in towards the waist. Glutes are switched on more than you can feel your lower back muscles switched on. And on the exhale, start to smear your spine long along the mat as long as you can. So rolling it down. I'm going to do it just 1 more time. Inhale at the bottom through a resting position that's neutral. Exhale, imprint the spine first. Activate your abdominals. Push into the legs, the feet. Roll your hips up, your lower back up. 3 breaths at the top in this bridge position. More of a Pilates bridge since we're not focusing on flaring the rib cage or getting a deep stretch through the chest. You might if you feel tight. More for about opening the front of the hip flexors. On the exhalation, let's start to roll it down. Good. We're going to keep the body exactly the same. Legs stay right where they are. This is called the 100 prep. We're going to move into a variation of the 100. So you'll float your arms up to the sky so that your fingertips are pointing up to the ceiling. Your palms can actually face forward. All fingers together, straight, just like your wrists and your elbows are straight. Take a breath in here at the bottom, prepare. And as you exhale, just like a chest lift, curl up to the upper body, flex your spine, like an abdominal crunch, and press your palms down towards the floor like the air were thick. Good. And then inhale, extend the spine back to the mat, fingertips back up to the sky. That's it. This is prep. So exhale, contract your core, bring your ribs closer to your hips, low spine towards the mat, fingertips reach forward, and then inhale, float the upper body back to the ground with control, of course, as the fingertips come up. A few more times. Exhale, squeeze your abs, lift your chest, reaching the fingertips forward, stretch. And then inhale, smear the spine back down, head lands last. 1 more time. Exhale, come up. Hold this chest lift, take a breath in. Exhale, lift the right leg up into tabletop. Lift the left leg up into tabletop. Squeeze your knees together side by side. Make sure your hips are over your, or make sure your knees are over your hips and your low spine is pressed down to the ground when you're in this flex position. We'll do the same movement now with legs elevated. So inhale, lower the upper body only. Fingertips go up to the sky. Exhale, crunch up again, just like we've done before. We have about 3 more. Inhale, extend the spine, fingertips to the ceiling. Use your abs to lift your chest, the neck and the head follow. Try not to tense your throat. 2 more times. Inhale on the way down. Exhale, concentric contraction on the way up, shortening that space in the torso. Inhale 1 more time. Exhale, come on up. Good. This is our variation of the 100 prep. We won't do 100. It's 3 breaths in and 3 breaths out. Start with an inhale, pumping your arms for 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Continue. I'm counting how many breaths you're doing with my fingers so you don't have to worry about it. Squeeze your thighs and your knees together. Try to keep your chest and your shoulders up and your low spine pressing down on the ground the whole time. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. As you're pumping from your shoulders, you don't want the rest of the trunk of your body to shake. We've got 2 more rounds of this before adding on to it, then we'll be halfway there. Lifting the chest. You can stay right where you are, or at this point, you can straighten your legs up to the sky. Continue. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Keep it up, really reaching through your fingertips, pressing, pumping through the shoulders. Press your low spine down to the ground. Last 5 breaths. If you want to make it harder, lower your legs halfway. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3. You've got 3 breaths to go. Stay up as best you can. Shoulders can stay up. Remember, if you need a modification, bend the knees. Last inhale, last exhale, and we can rest. Just come down to the mat however you need. Okay, in Pilates, we do that with 100 breaths. We did about 45 breaths there, I'd say, but it's still a ton of work. I'm not forcing anybody to go straight into 100, especially since that's not the only thing we're doing. We're not finished. But I'll give the front of your abs a break for a moment. Reach your arms over your head, take a stretch. Gotta point your toes. Take some big belly breaths. That space was just really contracted for a prolonged period of time. It's hard to breathe and stay contracted too the whole time. And then we'll roll over onto our side for side lifts. Now you can roll over onto whichever side makes sense for you. I'd suggest rolling over onto the side where you're facing the camera initially. Let me know if you want me to move her if she's in your way. And rest your head on your upper arm. You won't be on your elbow. You'll actually be flat. So you want that bottom arm to be straight with the palm facing up. You can rest your head on your bicep like a pillow. Stack your hips, stack your shoulders. I'm going to move her just so that it's not breathing cat fur in his face. Make sure that your heels are either in line with your hips, or you have the option to bring your feet even slightly more forward in front of the hips. I definitely recommend that, especially if you start to feel this more going into your back, okay? It's just called side lift. So keep your legs together, take a breath in. Exhale, lift both legs at the same time. They won't go very fast. They won't go very high. Inhale on the way down. Exhale, contract the side waist and lift them up. Inhale as you lower, and exhale as you lift. Now pay attention. We've got a few more on this side, that you're not gripping the bottom arm. You can relax the hand that's palm facing up, and that you're not pushing too much to the hand that's on the mat. You're trying to stabilize your body with your core muscles. The hand's just there for a little extra assistance or support. So you could even come onto your fingertips like Joel just did, or if you're looking for a greater challenge, which is very hard for me, even stretch your arms straight up to the sky. Good, last 2. Last one, next time the legs come up, you can hold them up. Try pointing the toes. Let's lower the bottom leg only so your feet are apart, and exhale, lift the bottom leg straight back up to where it was. You can use that hand for assistance. Inhale, lower the bottom leg. Exhale, squeeze your inner thighs together, all about the adductors. Inhale, lower, we've got 3 more. Exhale, lift and squeeze. It's a small movement, almost like you're trying to squeeze a ball or a block. 2 more, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Last time, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Let's hold it up for 5, point the toes, 4, good, 3, waistline is in, 2, and 1, you can rest. Relax your legs from here, roll onto your belly for a Sphinx pose. So you'll prop yourself up onto your elbows. Your forearms will be down on the mat, parallel to one another. So if you look down at your forearms, they're like the number 11. Fingertips are pointing forward. And then untuck your toes. You want the tops of the feet down for Sphinx pose. This is more of a stretch for you. And bring your eyes forward. You can lift the chin off your throat, like you're trying to draw your chest forward, even though your toes are reaching back and the tops of the feet are pressing down. You still want to press your chest forward and up. That's it. So that you're pushing down through your elbows without sinking down into your shoulders. Good. Let's take 2 more breaths here. One more time. And from Sphinx position, we'll find a low forearm plank. First, just tuck your toes. Feel your lower belly draw in so much that your hips float up off the ground. Perfect. It's a 30-second hold. I'm timing it for you. Think 1 linear line of energy from the crown of your head all the way through your heels. So even your legs are super active and energized. I'll let you know when you're halfway, which is right about now. 15 seconds remaining. Press down evenly through your 2 hands, 2 forearms, 2 elbows, broad in the back. Last little bit. We have 5 seconds. 4, lower belly in. 3, good. 2 and 1. Bring it down. Drop your knees, lower your hips, and we'll just switch sides. So whichever side you weren't on before, roll over onto the opposite side. You're going to stretch the bottom arm straight out beneath you, beneath your head, with the palm facing up. The palm is facing up so you're not gripping the ground or clawing at your mat with it. You want that hand to relax. So all the stability work is coming from the center of your body, not from your arms. So stacking the hips and the shoulders, you're going to keep the legs together like you have one leg instead of two. The top hand fingertips can come in front of you for support. Inhale, prepare. Lift both legs as you exhale. Inhale, lower the legs, and exhale, lift. Good. So you'll just inhale on the way down, contract the side waist on the way up. So when the legs lift, you can think about even bringing that top rim of that outer hip closer towards your waistline. That's where the real contraction is. And if you start to feel an achy pain in your back, remember, I highly suggest bringing your feet a little bit further forward in front of your hips. If in line with your hips feels too funny on your lower back. Let's do 3 more. Try not to push too heavily down into that supporting hand. So you're using more of your core body. You can even stretch it up to the sky for the last 2. Next time your legs lift, hold them up, point your toes. On the inhale, lower the bottom leg only, and exhale, squeeze your knees together. Good. Inhale, just the bottom leg lowers. Exhale, squeeze the legs together. Let's do this a few more times. When you squeeze the legs together, try not to move the top leg. It's just the bottom leg that's lifting. Last 2. Last 1. Squeeze, and then we'll hold it for 5. 4, waistline in. 3, lower belly in. 2, squeeze your glutes. And 1, you can rest. Good. From here, we're just going to come back onto our spine. Find a supine position, lying straight onto your back. Good. You can hug your knees into your chest. Good. We'll start with single leg circles and then single leg stretch. So beginning like how Joel is, you can keep your knees bent initially, that's fine. Reach your arms straight to your sides or even wide like a T if you have the space, palms facing up, and press the backs of your hands into the floor. You want to stabilize the upper body. Just make sure your ribs are knit in at this point. You can feel the container of your core switched on, stabilizing your spine as you bring the right leg up off the mat. Good, now let's extend the right leg totally straight. So if there was a flashlight on the sole of the foot, it'd be shining straight to the ceiling. You have the option to keep the left knee bent, like Joel has it, if your hamstrings are super tight, or at this point, extend and straighten the bottom leg as well, pressing the left heel into the mat. Start to trace small circles with your right heel on the ceiling. They can be as small as a dinner plate. Okay. Every breath, so you're still breathing, right, is another circle. If you want to explore the range or size of these circles, make them a little bigger for 2 more in this direction. And then pause and switch the other way. The whole point of this exercise isn't really about the leg or the circles, although that's important. Precision is part of your movement. It's really about the stability of your pelvis and the stability of your spine. So can you not move anything else, even though this leg is moving in space? Last 2 circles in the opposite direction. They might be small or big, depending on your ability. And then we can change. Bend your right knee, lower the right foot. Good. Make sure your abdominals are switched on. You can feel the ribs draw in. And float the left leg up off the ground. Extend the left leg as straight as it can go. Remember that right leg can be bent or extended straight. Do what works for you. Strongly flex your left foot and start to make clockwise circles with that left foot. Good. Try not to have your pelvis rock side to side or tilt forward and back. Focus on a ton of pelvic stability while we work this hip mobility. Can you move the thigh without moving anything else? Start to change directions, please. If you're watching, you'll notice Joel's circles are super tiny because he's doing his best to control it, which is fine. Your circles might be 3 times or 5 times as big. I've seen that too, but it really depends on your range and your stability through the center of your body. Last 2 circles in this direction. And then you can release. Bend the left knee, lower the left foot to the mat, and let your knees fall out for a second. Feet together, knees out. Give yourself just 2 breaths, little mini rest. We've come to our last 2 abdominal movements. Take 1 more big inhale here, just a little restorative breath. Energy, right? The fire in your belly for a single leg stretch. You're going to start by bringing your knees together and hug them into your chest again. So you can wrap your arms around your legs. Feel your spine stretch beneath you from your head to your hips. It's nice and long there. Take a breath in right here at the bottom. As you exhale, please lift your shoulders. Bring your nose towards your knees so your whole head is off the ground. You're using your abs to lift the chest. You'll bring both hands around your right shin, your right lower leg, and extend the left leg straight at a 45-degree angle, like your left toes are reaching for the height of a countertop. On your inhale, change legs. Bring both hands to the left lower leg. Pull the belly in on the exhale, even quicker. Inhale, change legs. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, change. Exhale, squeeze. This is great. Continue with this pace. Every inhale is a transition. Every exhale is when you're flexing that knee in, engaging your core abdominals even tighter. The whole point here is not to rock through your upper body. Try to keep your shoulders lifted the whole time. And if you need something that's a little less challenging, point the toes higher to the ceiling. If you're looking for something more challenging, you can bring the legs lower as long as your lower back isn't coming off the mat. Last 3 changes, and we're going to add on to this without a rest. Next time your right knee hugs into your chest, hold it. Bend the left knee in 2. Both hands around both legs. Take an inhale. Lift the chest even higher, a millimeter higher. Double leg stretch. On your next inhale, both legs straight and arms go up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring everything in. Now to make it harder, go even further. Inhale, both legs go forward, arms go back in line with the ears. Exhale, bring everything in. Continue, we've got 4 more. Inhale, reach in opposite direction. Exhale, squeeze it in. When the arms go back, keep it up for 3 more. Don't drop your chest when the arms go back. Keep your shoulders and shoulder blades lifted the whole time. Last 2. We're gonna hold the last one only for 5 seconds. So when you're there, hollow out the body, hold it for 5. 4, lift the shoulders. 3, belly in. 2, and 1, full body rest. Give yourself some free movement, whatever that might be for you. Sometimes I like to move my knees side to side, left and right. You could stretch your arms over your head, point your toes. Just feel the abdominals release and that tension and contraction that you're putting on them for some nice breath and blood flow. Good. Then you can either roll onto your side and help yourself up, or hug your knees in and rock your way up. We're going to meet in mountain pose in Tadasana. So we'll come to a standing position at the top of the mat. In this case, Joel, do you mind facing forward, just so that you're still facing the screen? And set your feet about hip width apart. You can roll through your shoulders. Feel your shoulders steady and even. That's it. And on your inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Exhale, just bring your arms wide and down. We'll do that twice more. So inhale, reach the arms wide and up. Exhale, arms go wide and down. One more time. Inhale, arms go up. Let's keep them up. Turn the palms to face forward. As you exhale, bend the elbows like a goal post or like 2 cactus arms. Good. Let's hold it here. On your next inhale, lift the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together a little bit more, really opening the front upper body. And exhale, shoot your arms straight up to the ceiling. The ribs will funnel in. Inhale, draw the shoulder blades together and down. You can let the rib cage flare as the chest pulls forward like a cobra pose. Exhale, shoot the arms up, funnel the ribs back into the waist. So you're connecting to those upper abs. One more time. Inhale, slide the elbows down, engage your lats, upper back muscles, and exhale, reach it up. We'll keep the arms up. Link your right hand around your left wrist. And then you can use the strength, or it's not the strength, but the assistance of your right hand to take a side bend. So you're leaning up and over to the right side. And if you want a little extra stretch, you can also cross your left ankle behind your right ankle, sort of making like a crescent moon or banana shape to the body. Let's take just one more inhale, pressing your hips, your pelvis to the left. Lengthen the tailbone down. And let's come back up. All you'll do is switch the grip. That means left fingers around the right wrist. First, start to reach up and over to the left. That left hand is assisting the stretch, opening the right side body. If you want to go a little deeper, cross the right foot behind the left foot. Make sure you're not going into a major back bend, no major compression in the lower spine. Still lengthen the tailbone down like you're pressing your pelvis or pubic bone slightly forward. Hips and pelvis also shift to the right. One more inhale. And exhale, release it. We can start to fold forward. So come all the way down into Uttanasana. You can come to face the top of the mat, front of the mat as well. Halfway lift with your inhale, hands to the shins, smooth out the spine. Fold forward with your exhale. One more time, halfway lift, feel the shoulders slide back. And exhale, fold. Okay, please plant the hands, high plank position. So we did slow forearm plank once for 30 seconds. This is high plank, but it's really prep for our first set of mountain climbers. So just to give you an idea, we're doing 3 rounds. They'll only be about 15 to 20 seconds total each. And you can take it slow motion. It's still really strong to go slow, or go quickly if you want to add some cardio into your practice. We'll begin now. Be light on your feet. Go ahead, bending one knee at a time into your mountain climbers. Try to keep your shoulders right over your wrists, not behind the wrists. We have 10 seconds already. You can go as fast as you want to go or as slow as you want to go. They're both challenging for different reasons. And then we rest in down dog. When both feet are down, lift the hips, lengthen the spine, relax the head. Take at least 2 breaths in and out through the mouth, maybe 3. Feel your inner thighs press back and wide. Good. Trying to inject some heat and warmth, getting all the blood moving while still working on the core. Please roll your spine forward back into a high plank position. Set your shoulders over your wrists. Feel the abdominals engage already, and begin. 20 seconds. Joel's going like a medium pace if you wanted to meet him there. Remember, if you're going quickly, try to stay light on your toes. You could take it twice as slow, making sure you're not to move your hips or your shoulders in space. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down dog is the resting pose. 2 breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. So our last set coming up. Hopefully you're feeling the blood and warmth in your shoulders. Let's come forward, high plank, inhale. Keep your neck long. Let's start right away. Exhale, begin. Keep it up. Steadiness through your shoulder girdle. Keep the ribs dialed into your waist. Coming to the end. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog into a child's pose. This is yogi's choice, right? If you want to hold your down dog, be my guest. Child's pose feels much more welcoming, or your style right now. Try that too. Deepen and lengthen your breathing. Let's take one more big breath where you are. Before we inject ourselves right into our vinyasa, we'll first find table pose and move through some cat and cow. So anything that felt stiff or maybe too tense from all the strong work in the first half of the practice, let's find some liquid movement. Inhale, bring your chest forward, eyes forward, look up. And exhale, scoop your tailbone, tuck your chin, eyes towards the navel, just like that. Inhale, you're moving through extension, should feel like a back bend, shoulders back and together. And exhale, push down to the hands, scoop your tailbone, around the whole spine. Once more, at your own pace, you can take it slow. Really good. Smooth out your spine to a neutral position. We're coming back into our downward facing dog for our first asana sequence. So you'll tuck your toes. Find an optimal range of distance or space from your hands to your feet. You can bend the knees as much as you need to so that your lower back is rounded. Your tailbone isn't really tucked, right? You want to feel your sit bones reaching up and wide behind you. Good. On your next inhalation, stretch the right leg back and up, 3-legged dog. This is your inhale. And then exhale, bring that right foot as far forward as you can. First pose is warrior 1. Now ground the back heel, lift the chest, lift the arms over your head. Let's find at least 3 breaths, maybe more. We're not here to rush. Make sure the center of your chest is facing forward. It's a great pose for the hips, the pelvis, for the shoulders. And in your core practice, let's dial into that container of the body again. It's like a barrel. It wraps from the back around to the front, so it's not just the front of the body. When you engage through the front of your core, you can feel the back of the body a little bit more supported too. Let's take one more inhale here. Warrior 2 as you exhale. Steady your pelvis, lengthen the tailbone down. Front knee still bent, 90 degrees. Arms go wide. Almost like the air were thick and you're pressing your palms down into that thick air. Take 3 more breaths, looking out over your right fingertips. Repeat the arms just as wide. Straighten the front leg, inhale. Trikonasana with your exhale. Stack the shoulders. Bring your right hand to the lower right shin, your prop or to the mat. We have about 5 breaths here. Try to keep the big toes planted, but the arches of the feet active. Pulling up through the kneecaps to the quadriceps. Pressing your hips back away from your underarms to the sides of your torso. Feel nice and uber long. Lengthen through the neck. One more inhale. And then bring both hands down to the top of the mat as you exhale. High plank, first vinyasa. Right foot back. This is your first chaturanga dandasana. Lower down halfway like a push-up. Upward facing dog or cobra. You always have options in your flow into your downward facing dog as that breath out comes. So even on your down dog, or not on your down dog, but that transition to down dog, you can think specifically about your pelvic floor engagement, core engagement to help lift the pelvis from the mat up to the sky. We have the other side. Send the left leg back and up. Inhale. Exhale. Step your left foot as far forward as it can go. Warrior 1. Arms go up over the head. That's it. Chest shines forward. Practice your breath in and out through the nose. Good. So even though a lot of what you might call the grunt work is on that front thigh, anchor down into the back leg too. You can feel the back right buttock engage, lengthening the tailbone down, feeling the outer left hip wrap back. Chest is shining forward. Arms are reaching up without going into a big back bend here, right? So the lower ribs are still smoothing down into the waistline. Take just one more inhale in this position. Warrior 2, as you exhale, be aware of the center of your body as you move around it. Arms go wide. Point the left knee forward, directly over the middle of the foot. So notice if your left toes turn in, if you have to turn them out, if your left knee collapses in. Right. Shoulders down away from the ears. Squeeze your triceps to engage the arms straight and energetically. Tailbone lengthening down. We've got 2 more breaths. From warrior 2 to triangle pose, straighten the front leg. Bring your left hand down to your lower left leg, onto the shin, onto a prop, or onto your mat. Try to stack your shoulders. Good. Now, if you notice that front foot sort of rolling to the outer edge, that's a big sign that you want to implant your left big toe firmly into the mat. So lift the arch of the feet, the kneecaps, the quadriceps. So the shoulders draw back away from the ears. You're turning the chest open. At the same time, lengthen to the side of the waist, lengthen to the side of the neck. We have 1 more big breath. Exhale, bring both hands down top of the mat, back into our vinyasa. That's a high plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Feel free to drop your knees. Just make sure your hips don't sag. Super important. Cobra or up dog. Lengthen the tailbone. Down dog with your exhale. That's it. Really nice. Good. So this is the kind of sequence today that we're going to actually build upon it. So we'll always start the same way. Right? You'll find a little bit of flow in it. Inhale, lift the right leg back and up. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Warrior 1. Lift the arms up over your head. Take a breath in. Warrior 2. Exhale, turn the left toes out a bit. Reach the arms wide. Good. Feel the belly draw in. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, Trikonasana. Reach forward and down to that right hand. Good. Take 2 breaths here. Chest open. Good. 1 more big inhale. Reach up to the left fingertips. Exhale, both hands down top of the mat. Take a big step forward. Left foot beside the right. Halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Inhale. Fold forward. Exhale. Come all the way up to stand. Inhale. Reach the arms up over your head. This time, lower your right arm down to your side. Keep the left arm up, going right into dancer's pose, Natrajasana. Bring the right hand to the inner edge of the right foot. When you're ready, kick back. Reach your chest forward and up. Try to keep your left hand higher than your left shoulder. You can always start with your gaze grounded. That means on the floor out in front of you. If it feels confident or stable, you can bring the eyes further forward towards the horizon. We'll take 3 more breaths. First time we're in the shape, the more we do it, the more familiar your body will get with the asana when you hold it. Good, and we'll come back to mountain pose, Tadasana. Just lower the right foot. Let's reach the arms forward and up. Inhale. Fold forward, exhale, hands come down. Halfway lift, inhale, breathe in, lengthen your spine. Chaturanga Dandasana, exhale. Feel free to float back, lowering the body halfway, core tight. Up dog, lengthen the tailbone, lift the chest. Downward facing dog, exhale, lift the hips. One breath. Good. Please send your left leg back and up, inhale. Warrior one, exhale, step the foot forward, lift the chest, lift the arms. Good, set your feet, set your gaze. Let's inhale, try to keep the eyes forward as we come into warrior two. Exhale, can the eyes stay forward as you move your body around your center line? Take one more breath in here, feel your collarbones wide, and then straighten the front leg, engage the pelvic floor, reach forward and down through your left fingertips, Trikonasana, triangle pose. 2 breaths to twist your chest open. No strain on the neck, keep the neck long, root down through your feet, pull your hips back, inhale. Exhale, both hands down to the top of the mat. Take a big step forward, right foot beside the left. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold forward and breathe out. Root to rise, inhale, stretch the arms up to the sky. Be aware of your whole body in space. Lower the left hand only. Natrajasana, left side, grab the inner edge of your left foot. Dancer's pose. Kick back, reach forward. And so every time we introduce a new pose, we'll hold it for at least 5 breaths. Now, second wave through, it'll be a little bit smoother, a little bit more connected every time. Let's try at least 2 more breaths on the side. Bringing the eyes forward, kicking back strong, opening the chest, and then mountain pose. You can bring both feet back to the ground. Take your time. Reach the arms forward and up. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward into our flow. Halfway lift, breathe in, connect your movement with your breath. Chaturanga Dandasana, breathe out. Really strong forward transition. Upward facing dog, open the belly, lift the chest. Downward facing dog with your exhale, lift the hips. Good, take a breath in between. Layering on. Send the right leg back and up, breathe in. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Warrior one, inhale. Good, warrior two, exhale. Straighten the front leg, inhale. Triangle pose, exhale. Make sure that back foot's a little bit more parallel with the back of the mat. Front toes are still forward. Turn your chest open. And exhale, both hands down top of the mat. Big step forward with the left foot. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Root to rise, inhale, reach the arms up. Dancer's pose on the right side, second time, lower the right hand only. You want to make sure you're at the top of the mat because we're adding on to it this time. Kick back into your right hand, reach your chest, your left arm forward and up. Let's find 2 more breaths. Squeeze the standing leg, root it down. Next pose is warrior three. Think about it, and then own the shape. Release the back foot behind you, extend the knees straight. Stretch both arms overhead in line with the ears. If that feels too strenuous, you can move into airplane pose with the arms to your sides. 3 more breaths. Hug the ribs in, navel towards the spine. Slowly on the next exhale, crescent lunge. Start to bend the front knee, land the back toes. You'll lift the chest and lift the arms. Set your torso, lengthen the tailbone down. Good, more relieving with 2 feet on the mat. Take a breath in here, look up. Exhale, both hands come down, top of the mat, high plank, left foot back, breathe in. Chaturanga, exhale, breathe out, bend the arms, up dog, downward facing dog. 1 breath. Here we go, lift your left leg back and up, inhale. Exhale, left foot forward. Warrior one, breathe in. Warrior two, breathe out. Trikonasana, inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, reach forward and down. Okay, give yourself a second to feel that rotation, that space making. Breathe in. Exhale, both hands down, top of the mat. Big step forward, right foot beside the left. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold and exhale. Root to rise, breathe in, reach the arms up. Natrajasana, dancer's pose, lower the left hand only. Grab the inner edge of your left foot so that left palm turns out. Kick back, reach it forward. Root your right foot down. Focus and concentrate. Steadiness and flexibility. Warrior three is next. Hold the shape in your mind's eye. When you let go of your left foot, extend the leg straight behind you. Warrior three. Reach the left arm forward. It's like you're gliding through space, left leg as straight as can be, like you could touch the other wall. Last 2 breaths. Root down to that right foot. Crescent pose. Start to bend your right knee. Go slowly. Land your left foot far behind you so you actually land in a high lunge position. That's what crescent pose is. Good. 2 breaths here. Lengthen the tailbone towards the mat. Feel your spine growing up to the crown, reaching to the arms and the hands. Exhale, bring both hands down top of the mat. Vinyasa, right foot back, high plank. Chaturanga, don't lose your form. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. At least 1 breath, maybe more. We have 1 more wave of this. So that means it's the last time we're adding on to it. The sequence is getting longer every time we go. Ready? Lift your right leg up. Inhale. Exhale, right foot forward. Warrior 1, breathe in. Warrior 2, breathe out. Triangle pose. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Lower hand to the lower leg or to the mat. Take 1 more inhale to open the chest. Exhale, both hands down top of the mat. Big step forward with the left foot. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Root to rise, inhale. Root down to the feet as the arms go up. Natarajasana, it's your last chance. Lower your right hand only. Grab the inner edge of your right foot. Last time in dancer's pose. Make it big. Take up space. When I say make it big, I mean kick the foot back. Kick behind you, point the toes up, take up space, exist in your body. We're going into warrior 3. As you let go of the foot, reach the right arm forward. Smooth out your whole body, long and parallel to the mat, to the best of your ability. Eyes focused. Crescent lunge. Start to bend the front knee. Land the right toes far behind you. Good. Landing right here. Take an inhale. On your exhale, it's a lunge twist, but you're going to bring your right hand all the way down to the mat beneath your right shoulder. Right hand to the mat beneath the right shoulder, left fingertips up to the sky, okay? Squeeze your back leg strong. From here, side plank. Bring the right heel to the right, float the left foot back as well. Hips and shoulders stack. Good. You can hold your side plank the whole time. If you have it in you, you're welcome to try wild thing pose. That's when you lift the top leg, you bend the knee and find a back bend. You can skip it, that's totally fine too, right? Foot goes behind you if you're going into it. Squeeze the glutes as you open the belly, head goes back, draw the shoulder blades together. Vinyasa, find your way into a high plank. You'll inhale as you land. Exhale as you chaturanga into that push-up. Upward facing dog, lift the chest. Downward facing dog, exhale. Give yourself a second, relax the face, the jaw. Use the energy that you have in your body. Side, nice and fluid. Lift the left leg up and back, inhale. Exhale, left foot forward. Warrior 1, breathe in, rise up. Warrior 2, exhale, arms wide. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Trikonasana, reach the left arm forward and down, stack the shoulders. Good, try not to internally rotate the upper arms. Keep both shoulder blades on the back. Really good. You can lower both hands now down to the top of the mat. Big step forward with the right foot. Feet together at the top of the mat, halfway lift. Fold forward, exhale. Come all the way up with your inhale. Stretch the arms up. Keep that right arm up, lower the left hand. Last time in dancer's pose, grab the inner edge of the foot. How good does it feel now? If I were doing it with you, I would think by the 3rd time, it'd feel much more freeing, much more available. Warrior 3 is next. So as you let go of that foot behind you, stretch the left arm forward and get as long as you can, like you're a Stretch Armstrong or you're a Gumby, and I'm pulling on your wrist forward and someone else is pulling on that left ankle back. Crescent pose is your high lunge position. Bend the front knee, land the left toes. This is your inhalation. Good, into our lunge twist. Lower your left hand to the floor beneath your left shoulder. Stretch your right arm up to the sky. Good. Take a second to pause. Hug both shoulder blades onto the back, right? Side plank is next. Left heel to the left. Float the right foot back. Stack your hips, stack your shoulders. Keep the right arm up to the sky. Good, don't let your hips sag. You can stay here. It's plenty challenging. You're doing great work. Or wild thing pose. It's a big back bend. Wild thing is when you float the top leg up, bend the right knee, land the toes behind you, squeeze your glutes to lift the hips, scoop your tailbone, hug the both shoulder blades onto your back, let the head go back, open the throat, take a big breath in. Last vinyasa, high plank, set your hands, set your body. Chaturanga, ribs in, navel in. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog with your exhale. Beautiful. Take a full breath in. Take a full breath out. Half pigeon is next. Bring your right knee forward towards your right wrist. You can lower the left knee on the mat behind you and walk it back. You're welcome to come down to your elbows or down to your forehead, but take your time. If I'm rushing you, I don't mean to. Right, pause anywhere you need along the way. This is a really strong flow, I think. Just letting your hips and pelvis be heavy, like they're sinking towards the mat. Like you're trying to gain space between the thighs. So the right knee is hugging up and forward to the right. You feel the left leg reaching straighter and longer back behind you, dialing that left hip bone down. Let's take 3 more breaths on this side. Try to relax through your middle and upper back. Exhale through the mouth. Release anything that was pent up or held on for too long. Anything that felt like it was under pressure. And we'll start to transition back to our down dog. Lift your chest, plant the palms, tuck the back toes. Eventually, right foot goes back as well. You feel the circulation start to equalize and normalize little by little. The other side, when you're ready, the left leg can lift initially. Send that left knee forward into your left wrist. So if your left knee lands at the middle of the mat, just make sure your left knee is inching or reaching to the left edge of your left knee a little wider than your left hip. And then that right knee, the opposite knee, can inch back a little bit further away from you down the middle of your mat. You'll already gain some space there just by those little adjustments. And then the rest of it is just staying with it, being in it, without displacing any of the tension that's being released through your hips. So if you do feel like there's a humongous stretch in your lower body, try not to hold on to that tension up into your shoulders or into your back or neck, right? You can use your breath, even visualizing that tension, whether it's a feeling or if it's a color for you. It might become too abstract if I speak like that, but using your exhale to facilitate that energetic or physical release. Okay. Cooling the body down. Feeling the head cool as well. About 2 more slow breaths here at the end. And then instead of downward facing dog, when you start to come out of this one, lift your chest. Can you roll onto your left hip and swing your right leg around, just so that we're meeting in a seated position? However that works for you, sitting at the top of your mat, extend your legs forward. We're going to do 1 roll down onto our back. So make sure your hips are forward enough that there's room behind you. You can extend the legs straight or bend the knees softly if you need. Let's point the toes for this one. Reach the arms forward once you're there. Take a breath in, prepare. Exhale, it starts with the base of your spine. Tuck your tailbone, draw your lower belly in. Start to roll down onto your back, but you won't even get to your back until much later. Right now, you can just feel that you're rolling behind the sit bones. The heels are dragging. Try to zip your lower belly in, like you're zipping your pubic bone all the way up to your navel, all the way up to your sternum, all the way up to your chin, right? Until eventually your shoulders come onto the mat, your head. Good. And I'll give you yogi's choice here. Right? Some of you might choose to just hug your knees into your chest. Another option is happy baby. Another option, if you're feeling up for it, could be plow pose or shoulder stand. Right? So different variations, shapes, depending on what feels most nourishing or relieving or feel good in your body. Again, those options were just hugging the knees into the chest, or happy baby, or plow pose. That's when your hips are over your shoulders, or an inverted shape and shoulder stand. Whatever you chose, we have about 5 more breaths. Practice breathing with the nose. And if you've gone into a position such as shoulder stand, start to give yourself some time to come out of it with control, with some focus, right, as best you can. All we're going to do from here is set ourselves up for Shavasana. Super simple. Jill's finally smiling for the first time. Stretch your legs straight out in front of you. Good. Adjust your hips or your shoulders. Good. Lengthen your arms out to your sides. They can be as close or as wide away from you as it feels right for you. Right? There's always usually that middle ground, that happy Goldilocks range where our body feels comfiest and happiest. And you can close your eyes. Relax all the way down to your fingertips and your toes. And without having to hold yourself in this position, you're not squeezing anything through your back or through your hands, or through your hips. Support and hold you here. So literally like your head, your whole spine, we're sinking towards the mat. The weight of your hips and your legs are heavy like lead. And the rest of your tissues, muscle, fascia, skin, just melting, releasing, softening around these heavy bones. Do nothing. Stay relaxed and begin to deepen your breathing. As you deepen your inhale, feel your belly and your chest rising a little bit taller, wider into the space around you, and falling with your exhale. And at this point, you can invite some small intentional movement into your body, starting with your fingers and toes. You can gradually, intentionally, is the key word, start to work that movement through other joints like wrists, ankles. You might bend the elbows or turn your head slowly. Notice how it feels to move, to be easy. You're welcome to stretch your arms over your head. Really, it's whatever suits you, your energy, your body, so it feels like you're energizing, or waking up from a little mini nap. And when you're ready, bend your knees towards your chest. Same options as before. With care, either rock your way up or roll to your side first and help yourself up. We'll finish in Sukhasana, comfortable seated position, whether that's legs crossed for most or some of you, or if you're kneeling or using a prop. Yeah. Feel your rib cage over your hips, shoulder blades smooth on the back, and your head centered above your shoulders. Let's press the palms together in front of the chest. Take a deep breath in. Feel your chest rise towards the thumb. Long breath out. Good. Acknowledge this time that you dedicated to your practice with all of us, alone together. Send gratitude to your body, our energy, this opportunity. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful Sunday, and namaste. Okay. Thanks so much, Joel. Thanks, everyone. Looking forward to more thumbs up. Yeah, now we can use the thumbs up reaction. Looking forward to more outdoor time on a Sunday and beach time next week. So nice to have you all. I'm glad it worked well, it seems, without any glitches or hiccups. I'm about to end the meeting. So see you next week Sunday. Bye.